Good morning, it's Miss Laura at Bartlesville Public Library for our weekly virtual story time. Ready to sing hello? Here we go. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? How are you today? Very good, very good, very good. So the books I chose today are all kind of about magical, imaginary play. And we're going to start with a classic by Maurice Sendak. Do you guys know this book? Tell me what it's called. Where the Wild Things Are. Do you ever act like wild things? I bet you do. This is a Caldecott winner. That's a very big deal. It's a special award they give every year for the best picture book, and this won the Caldecott Award a long time ago. Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another, his mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up," and he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night in Max's room, what happened? A forest grew, and grew, and grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. The video is kind of moving around a lot. We're getting used to this new Facebook portal is what's going on. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day, and in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars. They gnashed their terrible teeth. They rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Let's all roar like the wild things. Ready? Roar! Show our big teeth and claws. They did this until Max said, "Be still." And he tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once, and they were frightened and called him the king of all wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." I like that word, rumpus. So they danced and howled at the moon. Oh! They swung through the trees. And they held a grand parade through the dark forest. That's what you call a rumpus. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around, from far away, across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up, we love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And he sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found what? He found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. See those words there? That's what that says. And it was still hot. That's the end. Okay. We're going to read another book about imaginary play. Sometimes, you can have just a room full of toys and video games and lots of fun things, but sometimes the best thing to play with is a stick, right? This book by Antoinette Porty is called Not a Stick. Looks like the book is even made out of wood, like a stick. So Little Pig sees a loose twig on a tree. Is he going to pick it off? I bet you would. Hey, be careful with that stick. It's not a stick. What is it? A fishing pole. Look out where you're going with that stick. What stick? That's called a baton. He's pretending he's leading a marching band in a parade with his baton. Watch where you point that stick. This is not a stick. What is it now? A paintbrush. Now what are you doing with that stick? Can you guess? It's not a stick. I'm a weightlifter. Don't trip on that stick. See how he's holding it? Can you guess what he's playing? I'm telling you, it's not a stick. It's my horse. So, you still standing around with that stick? This is not a stick. He's a caveman. It's his spear. Okay, if it's not a stick, then what is it? Ooh, a dragon fighting sword. It's my not a stick. That's the end. We also have the other book, another book at the library. We have that one called Not a Box. I'm sure you've all played with an empty big box before. That's always fun. So lots of fun things we can do with a stick or a box or paper. Let's sing a song. Excuse me. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! Now let me hear you. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! Good job. I ran across this book yesterday and I realized I miss it so much. It's one of my favorites. Do any of you have a vegetable garden? This is about a little girl named Scarlet Bean. She has magical gardening talent. Written by Karen Wallace and illustrated by John Berkeley. Scarlet Bean. Look at all those vegetables. What do you see? I see potatoes, cucumbers. Cucumbers are what pickles are made from, right? Carrots, celery, onions. And there she is. I love her hair. When Mrs. Bean first saw her daughter's face, it was as red as a beet, and the ends of her fingers were green. "We shall call her Scarlet," declared Mrs. Bean. "She will grow tall and strong and do something wonderful." Mr. and Mrs. Bean lived in a house that looked like a garden shed. It was cozy and made of wood, but it was very small, so they worked outside as much as they could. Scarlet lay in her stroller and listened to the flowers grow, and when she slept, she dreamed of doing something wonderful. On her 5th birthday, Grandfather Bean gave Scarlet a vegetable garden. Can you imagine getting a whole vegetable garden of your very own for your birthday? Her mother gave her a set of tools with wooden handles. Her father built a wooden fence to keep out the rabbits, and he made a white gate that Scarlet could open all by herself. Scarlet loved her new garden. She pulled up the weeds. She dug in the soil until it was as crumbly as chocolate cake. She planted a row of carrots, a row of onions, a row of parsley. And that night, when she went to bed, the ends of her fingers glowed like green lights. The next morning, Scarlet ran to her garden, and guess what? Her carrots were as huge as tree trunks. Her onions were as big as hot air balloons, and her parsley was as thick as a jungle. Everyone in the village came to help. They used bulldozers to dig up the carrots. They drove forklifts to carry the onions, and they cut the parsley with chainsaws. Mrs. Bean's kitchen was too small for so many vegetables, so she made soup in a concrete mixer. The house was too small for so many people, so Mrs. Bean served the soup in the garden. Everyone said it was the best soup ever, and when it began to rain, they ate second helpings under the table. That night, Scarlet Bean dreamed of something wonderful. She crept out of bed. In one hand, she held a small trowel. A trowel is like a little bitty shovel type thing. In the other hand, she had lots and lots of seeds. High above the meadow, the moon hung like a pearl in the sky. Scarlet dug a hole and put all the seeds at the bottom, and she covered them with earth. As she covered them with earth, the ends of her fingers flashed like green stars. The next morning, the sun rose like a huge golden coin. In the middle of the meadow stood You ready for this? A castle made of vegetables. Whoa! It had turnip turrets and a drawbridge held up by corn cobs. A cucumber tower stood at each corner. Mr. Bean couldn't believe his eyes. It was the house of his dreams. Mrs. Bean kissed her daughter's face. "I knew you'd do something wonderful," she whispered. Scarlet Bean was so happy she turned as red as a beet, and the ends of her fingers sparkled like fireworks. And that is the end. They moved into their big castle made of vegetables. Pretty awesome, huh? And that's the end of that. Let's sing another song. I think we will sing about, let's sing our ABCs. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Very good. All right, this is a book by Lois Ehlert. Most, if not all, of Lois Ehlert's books, the illustrations are really interesting. If you look at this, this is another kind of imaginary play. This is a dog, right? But look what he's made out of. A zipper for his mouth, buttons for his eyes, tin foil for his tag, a can pop tab for his nose. Be fun to find things around your house to make pictures with, like rubber bands and paper clips and Post-its and buttons and pencils. Who knows what you could make. This is about a dog, and his name is Ralph. You know anybody named Ralph? There's his doghouse. It's got his name Ralph on it. Would you like to meet a talking dog? I bet you won't believe me, but our dog can talk. I found out when we first brought him home, and I asked, "Hey dog, what's your name?" And he said, "Ralph, Ralph." We built a house for him and a really high fence all around our backyard. "Hey Ralph, where are you?" "Roof, roof." He's on the roof. Is he really saying roof, or is he just barking? Ralph likes to chase the backyard birds. I always tell him no, but he never listens. "Ralph, what's on that tree?" "Bark, bark, bark." Get it? Tree bark. I think Ralph needs a long walk in the woods. "How's the path feel on your paws, Ralph?" Guess what he said? "Rough, rough." It's not a smooth path. So we race back home on the soft grass. As I latch the fence gate, we hear a howl. "What's that, Ralph?" "Wolf, wolf." He heard a wolf howling. Oh! There's the wolf. Oh, luckily he's behind the fence. "Don't be scared, Ralph. He can't get in. But do you want to come in the house with me?" Yep, 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 yep. Oh, Ralph, isn't it great to have a friend? Good night, sleepyhead. Talk to you tomorrow. And that's the end of Ralph. Okay, I have a special guest today. Actually, she's not a guest. She's part of the family now. Come on over. Miss Melissa, this is our new library friend in the children's department. Say hi to Miss Melissa. Welcome, Miss Melissa.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited.
She's very nice and very fun. I've gotten to know her pretty well in the last week. Some of you may have met her when you came to the library, but this is Miss Melissa, and she's chosen a story to share with you today. When she's finished, we will give you the magic words for the day for you little bean stackers, all right? So I'm going to let Melissa take over, read her story, and I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, so I picked out another one with imagination. Dragons love tacos. Do you love tacos? I like tacos. And it's by Adam Rubelin, and it's illustrated by Daniel Samiri. It's got all these yummy looking tacos. It's making me hungry for some lunch. Dragons love tacos. That looks pretty tasty. We even have a taco cave. Do you think the dragons have a special place they go and pick up tacos from? Kind of like Taco Bell. It says, hey kid, did you know that dragons love tacos? They love beef tacos and chicken tacos, and they love really gigantic tacos and tiny little baby tacos as well. The dog looks a little confused by that. Do you like gigantic tacos or teeny tiny baby tacos? It says, why do dragons love their tacos? Maybe it's the smell from the sizzling pan. Maybe it's the crunch of the crispy tortillas. Maybe it's a secret. Either way, if you want to make friends with dragons, tacos are key. Hey dragon, why do you guys love tacos so much? Why do you love tacos so much? Do you like to smell them when they're cooking? Do you like to put your favorite toppings on there? Or do you like to crunch those taco shells? It says, but wait, as much as dragons love tacos, they hate spicy salsa even more. They hate spicy green salsa and spicy red salsa. They hate spicy chunky salsa and spicy smooth salsa. If the salsa is spicy at all, dragons can't stand it. Do you like spicy salsa? I'm not a big fan of spicy salsa. It says, why do dragons hate spicy salsa? Well, just one little drop of hot sauce makes a dragon's ears smoke. Does smoke come out of your ears when you eat tacos with spicy salsa? Just one single speck, itty bitty tiny, of hot pepper makes a dragon snort sparks. Have you ever snorted sparks out your nose? Spicy salsa gives dragons the tummy troubles. And when dragons get the tummy troubles, oh boy. Have you ever had the tummy troubles? That dragon doesn't look very happy. It says, if you want to make tacos for dragons, keep the toppings mild. Tomatoes, lettuce, cheese. That looks just like what those dragons like. Look, he's giving us the thumbs up down here. He says, these are all good toppings for tacos for dragons. Do you like tomatoes, lettuce, or cheese on your taco? Do you like something else that's not spicy? Maybe black olives, sour cream? It says, hey dragon, how do you feel about spicy taco topping? What do you think that dragon looks like? Does he look happy? Or does he look like, ooh, that makes my tummy hurt? I think he thinks it makes his tummy hurt. He doesn't look very happy. He's got his tongue hanging out, laying on his back. It says dragons love parties. They like costume parties and pool parties. They like big, gigantic parties with accordions and tiny little parties with charades. Why do dragons love parties? Maybe it's the conversation. Maybe it's the dancing. Maybe it's the comforting sound of good friends' laughter. Have you had any costume parties? Maybe been to a pool party this summer? Or have you ever had an accordion party? Those dragons look like they're having so much fun playing the accordions. Have you ever played charades where somebody has to guess what you're pretending to do without speaking? The only thing dragons love more than parties are tacos. Is taco parties. Taco parties are parties with lots of tacos. Look at all those tacos. If you want to have some dragons over for a taco party, you'll need buckets of tacos, pant loads of tacos. The best way to judge is to get a boat and fill the boat with tacos. That's about how many tacos dragons need for a taco party. After all, dragons love tacos. Hey, dragon, are you excited for the taco party? Look at all those tacos. They've got boxes and a boat full. And that dragon, he's marking his calendar. I think he's excited. I know I'd be excited if you invited me to a taco party. Just remember, dragons hate spicy salsa. Before you host your taco party with dragons, get rid of all the spicy salsa. In fact, bury the spicy salsa in the backyard so the dragons can't find it. Bury it all in the ground. Can you see him? He's dug a hole in his backyard. He's dumping all that salsa in there because he doesn't want those dragons to find it. These dragons love your taco party. They love the music. They love the decorations. They especially love the tacos. Congratulations! Do you see them all? They're eating tacos. They're dancing. They're having a good time. They all look pretty happy, don't they? I'd be happy if I was eating some tacos. He's even got a shirt on that says, "I love tacos." It's a good thing you got rid of all that spicy. Wait a second. What are those little green things in the salsa? You didn't read the fine print. Now with spicy jalapeno peppers. Oh no. What do you think's gonna happen? Dragons, listen to me. Don't eat those tacos. Those little green specks in the salsa, they are jalapeno peppers. They are super spicy. I know you love tacos, dragons, but you are not going to love these tacos. Do not eat those dragons. Do not let those dragons eat those tacos. Uh-oh. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Is he shoveling it in? Oh no. Does he have a whole bunch of them in his mouth? Look at this one on the table. Is he eating some? I think those dragons might have got some spicy salsa. Are you ready to see what happened? Oh my goodness. They're shooting fire everywhere from that spicy salsa. When you eat something spicy, does it make your mouth feel like it's on fire? Does it make it seem like you could shoot fire out of your mouth? I know it makes my mouth hot. And then you have to get a drink to cool it down. It's too late. They've had all that spicy salsa. Oh no. Where'd the house go? Did they burn it down with their fiery dragon breath? And they got smoke coming out their nostrils? Have you ever had smoke come out of your nostrils after eating spicy salsa? Oh, look. It says, why would dragons help you rebuild your house? Maybe they're good Samaritans. Maybe they feel bad for wrecking it. Maybe they're just in it for the taco breaks. Well, at least they're helping. And they got another table full of tacos, hopefully with no spicy salsa. After all, dragons love tacos. The end. I've enjoyed getting to meet you, and I hope I get to see some of you in person real soon.
That was so good. Thank you. I love that book. There's a second book to that. Did you know that?
I did not.
I don't like it as well as the first, but we've got Dragons Love Tacos. Okay, so I was watching Melissa read her wonderful story on my phone and realized, as I said earlier, we're using a brand new Facebook portal to do story time. It's really awesome, but I realized we're backwards today. So it's okay. The pictures in the books were fine. We'll fix it before next week. But I think when I show you the magic words, they might be backwards. So listen up. Remember the first story we read today? It was Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. For the little pre-reader bean stackers who need their magic words to enter into Beanstack for this week to earn your badges and tickets, the magic words are wild things. It is backward. So just like every week, you enter this all lowercase letters, wild things, WILDTHINGS, wild things. So thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week, 10:30 Wednesday, for our next story time and our next set of magic words. Thank you, everybody. Bye.